Breaking news here in Hawkeye Nation. Iowa men's basketball landing a big-time transfer out of the portal from the Big 12 Conference. We'll talk about the addition of Brendan Hausen and what he brings to the black and gold. Ben McCollum's first really big non-Drake incoming transfer. We'll talk about it in just one moment. But first, a big thank you to our sponsors down in Bondurant, Iowa Floor Covering. If you have a bathroom remodel or a flooring project on hand, be sure you call IFC down in Bondurant for the latest with hardwood, carpet, tile flooring, whatever the case may be. Give them a call. They can give you great direction, great advice, and great products. IowaFloorCovering.com or call them at 515-379-7000. Again, that's Iowa Floor Covering down in Bondurant. So the Iowa men's basketball program landing Kansas State transfer Brendan Hausen. Hausen, a coveted portal guard who is a great three-point shooter. What do we know about the marksman who's been playing at Manhattan? Well, he actually transferred in a year ago from Villanova. He was originally a Jay Wright recruit. Of course, Jay Wright, walking away from the game, has transitioned to an analyst role for CBS during March Madness. But Hausen was recruited to Villanova as a four-star originally out of high school. He's from Amarillo, Texas. He stands at 6'4", 205, 210 pounds, somewhere in that range. And he has just slowly gotten better during his first 3 years of college, averaged just 9 minutes per game played at Villanova in year one, 3 points, did shoot 43% from three. That is his specialty, as we'll talk about here in just a few minutes. His second year at Villanova, he was better, doubled his minutes, doubled his points, so 18 minutes per game, 6 points per game, also averaged a couple of rebounds, shot 38% from three, still very good. He enters the transfer portal last year, ends up committing to Kansas State, and played extensive minutes for the Wildcats, started the entire season, 28 minutes per game, averaged 11 points per game, 3 rebounds per game. He was third in the Big 12 in three-pointers made and fourth in the conference in three-point percentage. So I know Iowa fans have been frustrated because they have not landed people like Honor Huff, the Chattanooga transfer, who you could argue is the best three-point shooter in the country. Had the kid from Lipscomb, the big, who was a really good three-point shooter. He committed to Washington, but Brendan Hausen fills a big need for Ben McCollum as it relates to offensive firepower and shooting, a range. We'll talk about his range in just a second as well. His career, here are his career stats: 39% total from three, shoots 83% from the free throw line, and has started 33 games. All of those starts did happen once he got to Manhattan, Kansas. Now, he was a top 30 portal recruit according to On3. If you look at transfer rankings, I don't know how much you really read into these things. In fact, I published a segment the other day with none other than Coach Gary Close, who talked about a couple of recent Wisconsin transfers who have far exceeded transfer portal expectations. And I think Iowa's a good example, too, with people like Bakari Evelyn and even a guy like Drew Thelwell from Morehead State exceeding expectations, and give credit to Fran McCaffrey for helping to locate those guys. But Brendan Hausen was a top 30 recruit by On3. Other services had him ranked lower, but he had a lot of high major schools in on him. We'll talk about those schools in just a second. But first, let's look at some of the tape of Brendan Hausen this past year at Kansas State. You'll see he's got a quick release. And honestly, I know I'm biased because I'm a Mavs guy, so forgive me for that. And please don't make fun of me for being a Mavs guy. I've dealt with enough over these last few months as a Mavericks fan. But anyways, I think he reminds me a little bit of Klay Thompson. Now, whenever we're making comps, certainly not anticipating that he's going to be the next Klay Thompson, right? But he's got that quick release. He's got the range. He's a good spot-up shooter, can make threes off the catch, makes threes off the bounce. He seems to prefer the corners, which is the case, so I think, with most great three-point shooters, but he's got great range. You see him taking logo threes. So Caitlin Clark, Jordan Bohannon, move aside for a second, because Brendan Hausen is going to be shooting from the Tiger Hawk logo at some point during his 1 year at Carver. He does have 1 year of eligibility remaining. I mentioned his quick release. How about this stat? On his career, has attempted 455 three-point shots, has only attempted 68 twos all time during his 3-year career in college. 455 three-point attempts, 68 two-point attempts. He is a three-point shooter. Now, I'm not saying he can't develop his game more heading into his final year, but this is what he's coming to Iowa to be. So Iowa loses a lot as it relates to three-point shooting with Peyton and Price Sanford gone, Josh Dix as well. And so they needed this. Not that Bennett Sturts can't shoot threes, not that guys like Isaiah Howard can't shoot threes or even Cale Combs, but they needed shooting. They're going to get it with Brendan Hausen. That's going to be his job. My anticipation is that he will start. Had a career high of 27 points against St. John's, one of the best teams in the country this past season. 27 points against St. John's back in December, made 6 3-pointers, and he makes contested threes. I mean, he's not the biggest guy. He's about the size of a Josh Dix at about 6'4", but he makes contested threes, difficult shots, and he can get that shot off quickly. Now, out of high school, he was a top 50 recruit by On3 rivals and had offers from some powers like Houston, Texas Tech, TCU, Wichita State. And I mentioned his recruitment out of the portal. Here are some of the schools that reportedly showed interest in Hausen out of the transfer portal. Get a load of this list: Kansas, Illinois, Tennessee, Missouri, Texas A&M, Virginia, Gonzaga, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, Cincinnati, Oklahoma, Georgetown, Minnesota, Virginia Tech, DePaul, SMU, and I'm sure there were probably dozens more at various levels. But this kid's going to come in, likely start right away. He brings experience, and he's not some small 6'4". I mean, like I say, he's like 205, 210, maybe not the best athlete in the world. You could say the same thing about the freshman we talked about yesterday who'll be coming in from West Des Moines Valley. But I'm less concerned with athleticism. I'm less concerned with athleticism with the new Ben McCollum system because of how he coaches, because of what is emphasized, the style of play, all of that. And so, hey, they got some good athletes actually coming over from Drake. I think Cam Manyow is a really good athlete. I think Isaiah Howard is an excellent athlete. I think Tavion Banks is an excellent athlete. They'll get better athletes. This kid's a three-point shooter. The freshman from West Des Moines Valley is going to give them an inside presence, and he's also a project, right? He's coming in as a true freshman. So this is just big. Again, there was one comp, it would probably be a guy like Klay Thompson. Klay has certainly developed his ability to drive and score at every level, but primarily he's a three-point shooter. If Brendan Hausen could develop the other aspects to his game, his ability to dribble, drive, and kick and score at every level, then we're talking about not just a really good three-point shooter, but an excellent college basketball player and perhaps an all-conference type of guy heading into his fourth year. We'll see if he develops that, but at the least, he's going to help them extensively on the perimeter in the category of shot making. So congratulations to Brendan Hausen and to Ben McCollum's staff. This is the first real big win, notwithstanding the Drake guys, including Bennett Sturts, who is considered to be maybe the best player in the transfer portal this cycle. This one surprised me. I know Iowa's had some visits here of late. His recruitment, Hausen's recruitment, has been relatively quiet. We knew Iowa was in on him, but the commitment here this morning that was initially reported by John Rothstein did surprise me, caught me a little bit off guard, but huge get for the Hawkeyes. Folks, we've got WNBA draft tonight. Where will Lucy Olson go? We'll have coverage for that and continued coverage all week long. Men's basketball, football, women's basketball. Keep it locked right here from the Hawkeye of the Storm. Have a great Monday.